Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're following me right now, I'm Aspie and I'm all about creating mental health and awareness series versus sharing you guys my life stories and journeying with me with my condition of Asperger's syndrome, OCD and the like, so that you can get the lowdown about me as the person as a whole under these massive diagnoses. Just a heads up, basically, just to give you the lowdown. Also, I do some, how we call it, word of encouragement, pills of wisdom, whatever you want to call it, to uplift you all, to encourage you all when you are down and out, regardless what it may be, and that hopefully with some of these encouraging messages it'll be of value and use to you, or if not for you, maybe for someone else that you may want to share it with, that you feel is down and out. Because like I said, I want this channel to be clean as possible, my community channel, to hopefully basically just help and support others regardless of it all, and hopefully to educate you all as well as do what I can when I can for, you know, being that type of voice that hopefully voices out of certain things. Anywho, as you're aware that basically I am doing the ADHD and series versus the dyslexia series to continue on and to complete as much as I can, but I want to just hopefully just bring out some other topics as well that will be close to my heart later on, obviously, as well as some maybe tag videos and stuff that maybe you guys would like. So let's hopefully, you know, support one another one way or another, because as I said before, you know, we never know who will be needing the help regardless, and sometimes we need to know the signs and symptoms. Before I begin, also heads up, for some of the tips and advice that I might bring out regardless what topics they are, I want to just clearly say that I am no, you know, doctor or physician. I'm just a normal everyday Joe blog that's going on about minding my own business and just living my life as much as I can that I feel is right for me. And so the tips and advice of the management stuff, be it depression and all these other ones that I have clearly addressed earlier, like when I first started the channel, that hopefully some of that will be of use and beneficial to you. I know some of it may work for me and may not for you, but I suggest that maybe you can just consider my, you know, opinions regardless what it may be, and hopefully regardless of these opinions of the voice and everything else, just bear in mind what I have to share with you all, because, you know, some of it may be based on my life experiences versus my life training that I did, as I shared so many times before, versus on my life youth line training. So, you know, if some of this doesn't seem fit for you or what have you, in a way of how I bring up my tips and advice of managing things, you know, seek professional help, or seek professional, you know, seek an opinion, as they say, and not just to give me the hate message that it's not going to work. Just maybe also just try and maybe, in a word of thought, maybe just to try some of these strategies, tips, like if they break them down into step by step of the tips and advice, because you never know, you'll probably be surprised it might work for you in the end result. It's just a matter of just keep trying and whatnot. So, and now without further ado, I better continue on to what I want to share with you all right now. Even though some of it is still based on, as it's supposed to be, on the Asperger's syndrome channel, but as I said also, this is all about mental health and awareness versus everything else that I love about health and science and whatnot. So, like I said, I'm hoping to branch it out a bit further along later on in the track about what I want to address, and maybe in the near future of my channel. I'm not sure where my channel will be, but, you know, I'm sure I'll be able to find ways to actually go about it. But this one is all about the how-to guide now for you all. I'm going to break it down hopefully maybe to 6, 7 kind of, or shall we say maybe 8 to 9 methods this time. It's going to be just bit by bit, step by step, you know, break it down into those 9 methods, and hopefully that you guys can follow it through, you know, regardless, and that no matter what, that we can actually, you know, work things out, and hopefully some of this will be of value to you, that you learn something to educate you all today. So let's begin this. This one's all about how to handle an autistic child's behaviour. As you know, basically, as I said, sometimes if the child was autistic or not, you know, they'll have certain, you know, difficulties in life earlier on in their childhood. Maybe he say they could have certain disorders that is basically, you know, hard to handle or manage, shall we say, to the point that, you know, it gets a bit stressing for the parents to handle it or cope with it. That's why we need some bit of support network around, and actually, you know, find the right, you know, method of handling things for ourselves, and especially for the parents with their loved ones of the child. But as I said before, maybe or not, that autism is one of the pervasive developmental disorders with symptoms that usually appear before 3 years of age, however. Life can be so stressful for autistic people, however, and any other person with this any other given disorders on the given daily, which can then result in behaviours that is difficult for parents and caregivers to respond to. That's where the frustration and all that comes. But however, with the love, patience and respect, you can increase social skills and help your child find happiness and peace between you both. As I said before, what I'm hoping to do of these 9 methods of how to handle an autistic behaviour will be as follows. Handling a lack of responsiveness is method 1. Method 2, coping with language and communication problems. Number 3, dealing with meltdowns and tantrums. I know some of this may be repetitive of some of the tips and tricks or tips and advice, but I humbly apologise in advance. But some of it should hopefully just reinforce it with you, or when dealing with children that is difficult to manage, sort of thing. Method 4 is avoiding self-interest behaviours for the autistic child. Number 5, reducing anxiety. Number 6, discouraging cursing and other interfering behaviours between you and the child. Number 7 is handling stimming. Number 8, addressing food sensitivities. And number 9, incorporating nutritional therapy. So let's begin this. As you know, basically this is method number 1 of the 9 methods that I want to address to you, which is handling of lack of responsiveness. Okay, as we know, as I said before, that many autistics on the scale can either have communication delays, communication problems versus socialization problems and their early childhood development. But with, like I said, with the right method and stuff, it's all good. But obviously, from what I can understand, from what I've learnt, even though later on with me, it was in my early mid-teens stage crisis that found out about myself finding it hard to socialize and that, and I'm hoping with some of the stories or some of the tips and advice I've shared along the way of what I've shared has actually been beneficial to you. So anyway, number 1 for this is understand that a lack of responsiveness is a common symptom of autism. Yes, you got that right. There are many different range of symptoms that will vary from child to child, regardless of any disorders, be it autism, ADHD, and the like of what I've addressed to you all. You got to remember, with the child, they may not know how to offer social or emotional support to others, and many may display extreme unfriendliness and detachment issues. Other autistic people, however, may deeply care about others, but are unsure how to act appropriately and help the people that they do actually love. So this lack of responsiveness, however, is one reason for the difficulties that some autistic people may face in securing and keeping employment and making friends. And this is ringing true for me today at this present stage. For me, the way I am as a person, I tend to struggle with certain things. Yes, I'm trying to, as I said in one of my videos, I think it was a video over, based on Let's Talk About Life or something. I did briefly share about what's been happening with me just as of now, and hopefully that something good will come out of it, regardless of me pushing hard just to do videos, minding my business, trying to settle down, focus on the license and stuff and everything else that may be holding me back. I'm not sure, but it could be myself holding myself back, who knows. But I am not going to judge upon myself or put it out there as much as possible, but I'm sure at a later date I'll share all my thoughts on this, a bit more of what I shared briefly in the first introduction about Let's Talk About Life. But anyway, let's continue on. Keep in mind though, however, that an extremely unresponsive child can probably still hear you. They just don't have a way to communicate to you yet, despite their developmental, stage in their life. Number 2, teach social skills directly. While many children pick up social skills naturally and quicker than others, just by observing and participating in groups, autistic children often need direct instructions from teachers, parents, and the like, wherever they are, sort of thing. Parents and special education teachers can and should spend considerable time teaching autistic children to socialise politely, often at first following scripts, and recognise the needs and emotions of others. Like I said before, in the one of what I do is the word shape shifting, being able to adapt in a surrounding, but maybe acting out as if I'm in a play of a different surrounding versus, a different character, being happy, sad, observing people's behaviours versus their thoughts versus their, their actions, how they treat others, thinking to myself, is that how I want to be treated with others around me? Cipher it out for myself along the way if need be. Number 3, encourage limited social interactions. Many autistic children may begin over time to express an interest in making friends, especially if they are offered many opportunities to do so. Set up brief play dates and visit fun places where other children will be present. If your child doesn't socialise well, explain to them that it is only for a limited time, which will help them feel less overwhelmed. Number 4, make sure your child spends some time with both autistic and non-autistic children. Interacting with non-autistic children helps your child to develop more attentive and responsive behaviours towards all peers. Fellow autistic children, however, do teach your child that there is nothing wrong with them and that there are other people just like them. For older children, autistic peers can offer support and insightful tips on a level that no one else can, however. Some school programs may offer various degrees of mainstreaming in which autistic children spend time in regular classrooms depending on your child's learning abilities and needs. This may be a good idea. Number 5, offer plenty of positive reinforcement. Instead of punishing your child, encourage your child whenever they make the effort to respond to others or engage in social situations. Praise your child, applaud for their efforts, and offer a reward, a gold star, or a trip to the ice cream place, or anything else that motivates them to keep, them going. Don't forever punish, criticise the child, or push them to do something if they are uncomfortable, because they'll associate social interactions with negative feelings. The child should be respected and be able to feel meaningfully to know when is no and yes is the yes and the like. Anyway, this is the quick, short, brief one of the how to handle an autistic child behaviour for the 9 methods. Give me a like or thumbs up for support. Comment below if I've missed anything on the very first part that is relevant to this part of the series. Feel free to share these videos around to family and friends. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, AspieAnswersAll. And all further ado, thanks for your support, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.